a justice of the peace. On the same day, I got him to authenticate my statement and my signature, and he stamped it. What did my statement say? In that statement of June 6, 2015, which I gave to Dennis Wren, I gave a brief history of my political career in the People's Partnership Government. I said, among other things, that in late 2012, as Minister of National Security, 2 security officers from the Prime Minister's security detail who were at a Philippine residence had complained to me about all-night parties which were being held at the PM's residence. My statement further said that I told the PM about the said complaint and she was dismissive of it. My statement also said that on the afternoon of Friday, April 12, 2013, when Parliament was in session, DCP Mervyn Richardson came to me and called me from the Parliament and took me to an adjoining room and informed me that the security officers at the PM's Philippine home had found that very morning, Friday, April 12, 2013, they had found a packet of marijuana weighing 4 ounces outside a window of the Prime Minister's Philippine home. And based on the amount, according to Richardson, it can be for the purpose of trafficking. Richardson also told me that CS Lieutenant Gary Gould, head of the special branch, was directly in charge of the Prime Minister's security detail at her home, at her office, and that he would speak with him on the matter. I also called Dr. Munilal at the same time because Munilal was leader of government business, and I also was aware of his closeness to the Prime Minister. So I called him from the Parliament and asked him how we should deal with the matter. And Munilal suggested that I should immediately call the Prime Minister overseas and inform her, which I did. I said in my statement to Ms. Wren that the PM sounded surprised, and she asked whether she should return home immediately, and whether she should resign, and whether she should resign. And I prevailed upon her not to do so. In that statement, I said that the PM, Prime Minister, then spoke to DCP Mervyn Richardson, who again informed the Prime Minister of what he had told me. In that same statement, I said that we, Munilal, Richardson, and I, would use our best efforts to bury it. By this time, Gary Griffith, who had not been present, had also been informed by me. On Friday, June 12th, so I leave my statement now, that is a summary of my statement. On Friday, June 12th, the Parliament was dissolved, and the Speaker invited all the parliamentarians to a tea room upstairs for drinks. I refused to attend. And let me tell you this, for the last 2 years, I never had a meal with them. I never ate with them. I never supped with them. And in Parliament, I only worked with them. And that happened since after Shoguna's West, by election, the level of vitriol, the level of anger, animosity, I said, I stand far from those people. The things they said about me, my family, and so on. So those of you who were in Parliament, you would see that I studiously slipped past the Prime Minister on my way out of the Parliament. I made my way home. On my way home, I called Denise Wren of the Trinidad Express, who had said that she was in Maruga the morning. I asked her how fast she was coming back to Port of Spain. She said she's in Sawa. I said, wait for me by the Quasi. I have something to give you. And she waited, and I gave her my statement on the priority bus route and the Quasi. She read it and then asked me a few questions to which I responded. My statement was then reported in the Sunday Express of June 14, 2015. Friends, all of Sunday morning, not a single word I heard from anybody. Not a single word from the PM's camp. And my impression is that they used in the morning to try to see how much damage control they could do based on the article in the Express. In the afternoon, Captain Gary Griffith called me and we spoke on the entire matter. He again called me shortly after the first call, and we again spoke on the said matter. And then, from that time to now, every action possible has been taken to discredit what I have said, and such action as late as today by the acting Commissioner of Police, whose acting status Anna Logan had said must be maintained to keep him in line. So let's now move to the facts themselves as they are. And let's now see the PM and the PR team and the cabinet colleagues, none of whom was there except one. Sewage wasn't there. MacLeod wasn't there. They were in their mouth and so on, but they were not there. What really now happened after Sunday? My friends, one argument put forward is that the Prime Minister left Trinidad and Tobago on Sunday, April the 14th, 2013, to deliver a speech at the UN at 9:30 a.m. on the morning of Monday the 15th. In other words, that article in the Express by Anna Ramdas, if we take the Prime Minister PR team seriously, of which Ramdas is one, it meant, therefore, that the PM came from the Cal plane, showered, and went straight to the UN. Straight to the UN. I am saying to you that this is ludicrous. And what is even more ridiculous is their effort to use Ms. Ramdas, their supporter in Trinidad Express, to use her to bolster the story by using a release from His Excellency the President in Trinidad Gazette. In today's Express, Ms. Ramdas' release shows that on April the 14th, the President said, April 14, 2013, that the President said that Dukaran would act for the Prime Minister. My friends, April the 14th, 2013, is here. This is the Gazette. April 14, 2013. This is the Gazette referred to deliberately by Ms. Ramdas. I'll tell you why just now. This document says, it is hereby notified for general information that His Excellency the President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Prime Minister, in exercise of the power vested in him by Section 78(1) of our Constitution, authorized the Honorable Winston Chandrabaran Dukaran, a member of the House of Parliament, so and so, with effect from the afternoon of 14th April 2013 and continuing during the absence of the PM. This document does say so, and it's dated April the 18th, number 50, and it does say that Dukaran has to act from April the 14th until such time the Prime Minister returns. But I want to fast track you to a document on May 2nd, 2013, and you will agree that May 2nd document is more relevant than April 18th. And I'll tell you why shortly. In this document of May 2nd, I'll leave this from the soon. This is Jack 101 now. Of May 2nd, the Prime Minister, the President says, it is hereby notified for general information that His Excellency, the President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Prime Minister, in exercise of the power vested in him by subsection 1 of Section 78 of the Constitution, has revoked, with effect from the evening of 20th April, the authority confirmed on the Honorable Winston Chairman Dukaran by instrument dated 12th April to perform the function of Prime Minister. He gave him the instrument on April 12th. And this is in the May document. So if Ms. Ramdas wanted to be fair to the public, she would have quoted this as well. But of course, you'll get this one in sunshine today. This one. Then I went. So when I saw this was a big controversy of what day she left the country, I went to the airport VIP lounge to get a look at the records of those persons who left the lounge on April 12, 2013. I was told that the books had been seized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and up to now have not been returned. I then called Foreign Affairs. I spoke to a young lady there. I told her what I wanted to get the record of the books from the VIP lounge to see what day the Prime Minister flew out. She said, that is not my business. She can't give it to me. That's all right. I then called the New York consulate to speak to Nan Ramgulam. I was advised that she was in a meeting. I then told the young lady what I wanted to find out. She said she can't give me that information. I then tried to get a copy of the Cal Manifest for Friday, April 12, 2013, but that proved difficult as late as yesterday. I then went and checked the Hansard of the Parliament for Friday, April 12, 2013. And while there is no excuse from the Prime Minister to the Speaker for that day, nowhere in the Hansard you will see any reference being made of the presence of the Prime Minister. And moreover, the staff, the parliamentary staff, advised me that the Prime Minister was not in Parliament on that day. So finally I said, that is not my business. It's not my business to prove that the Prime Minister was out of the country on April 12, 2013. But instead, it is the Prime Minister's duty to prove that she was in the country. And up to now, I am yet to hear that proof. It's up to her to prove that there was no ganja in her house that morning. I tell you this also. She must also tell the country of her closeness to Anna Roberts and why. My friends, it is informative to note that before the Prime Minister departed on April 12th, I did advise the Prime Minister that both she and AG Anna Ramlogan would have been out of the country at the same time. I told the Prime Minister that her detractors will attack her because the two persons to form a cabinet are the Prime Minister and the AG. And if they are both out, I am saying to her, and you have two people acting, they will attack you based on the constitutionality of the whole situation. I do not know if it was right or wrong. All I felt, you can't have two key people all at the same time. She said it was okay for Dukaran to act. She said and that Ramlogan would return on April 13th, Saturday. I checked the Hansard. It's here, 13th. But worse yet, in Ramlogan's absence, she put Munilal to act as AG. Now, Munilal passed his law exam in 2010. I have no evidence he ever was called to practice before the bar. I said, Prime Minister, this is dangerous. Look at here. Look at here. So therefore, Ram Logan rushed back to Trinidad on the 13th. But on the 11th, 12th, 13th, this country had no prime minister, no attorney general. What now of the 4 ounces of marijuana? My friends, DCP Richardson showed me on his phone, he showed Munir also, a picture of 4 ounces of marijuana. And therefore I'm saying to you, it should be very, very easy for TSCT to check Richardson's phone, his phone record of April 12, 2013, and to see if what I'm saying is true. All he has to do, say, look, it's not true, check my phone that day. You will see a picture of 4 ounces of marijuana. The police diary, which the acting commissioner of police said this morning, has no entry of the 4 ounce found. The police officer in the station found the diary and on his phone took a picture of the entry. How could I know that 4 ounces amount to 130 grams? It was in the diary. But I said to him, then I said to you now, I ain't calling the name and I ain't calling the station because it's time you guys in media do some work. People are also asking, why didn't we reveal this before? And you're right to ask that. And I said to you, the answer is simple. My friends, there was a time when I would have given my life for the Prime Minister. Foolishly, of course, but there was a time. There was a time when I would turn my eyes to all her wrongdoings or talk to her secretly, one-on-one, about them. You could curse me if you want, you know. But I'm saying that is the nature of this beast. Because I had always thought that the Prime Minister was a victim of the cabal. Suraj, Ram Logan, Munilal, Sharma, and others. And I felt that my role was to protect her at all costs from the cabal. Even when the cabal eventually got me out of the government, I still defended the Prime Minister. At the height of Chaguanas West by-election, at the height of it, the entire cabinet and the Prime Minister came down on me in the most vicious campaign ever. I said nothing about this event mere months before. Because I said again, it's the cabal, not she. The Prime Minister even of course, indulged in racial slurs against me on Pierre Road in Philly City. I said nothing. It's the cabal. The Prime Minister, in October, St. Joseph by-election, she again went after me. I said nothing. I kept quiet because it was the cabal. But when the U.S. sends a provisional warrant to arrest me with no evidence, no charge, and my Prime Minister and your Prime Minister could tell the AG within 15 minutes, sign it and go for him, and hasn't told me a single thing, and let me go to look from station to station to ask, is there a warrant for me? And finally to find out, there's one in Port of Spain. And when I went to get up myself and was taken to the court and saw 5 attorneys from the government in the court, including Jagdev Singh and General Ramdin, that can't be the cabal. That can't be the cabal. And I said, Jack, your eyes are open. Your eyes are open. As such, therefore, I saw the light. I said the Prime Minister now has to be exposed. Last Friday, I felt I owe it to this country. After she announced date for election, I felt I owe it to this country to expose this Teflon Prime Minister, who for 5 years had fooled me. And since she announced the election date last Friday, I felt the truth must be told. And if after all of this, the country wishes to re-elect her and the PP, that's the country's business. But my conscience would be clear. I'm prepared to sacrifice myself today, not because I love me less, but because I love Trinidad and Tobago more. I listened today to one of the local channels on the radio where a U.S. judge comes in this country this morning and telling people how to vote. I listened, I saw where every effort is being made to take me out of this country. And if you want to see, look at the back page of today's Sunshine. You'll see since last year to take before the general election. And the U.S. judge this morning on the radio station was saying, vote for her because she's a nice lady. Nice lady? Nice lady? Nice lady? But I'll tell you what, I want to play 3 tapes for you, for this nice lady. And let me begin by saying very early, I apologize for airing these tapes. I've never done it before. I've never destroyed anyone's confidence in me before. But I always felt, in the back of my mind, I felt that this is too important, and the day will come where I would need evidence and proof to show the country both who the Prime Minister is, who Richardson is, and who Jack Warner is. That day will come, I felt. That was my gut feeling. And therefore, I kept those tapes for a day just like this. For a day just like this. In today's scripture, Proverbs 3 says, do not withhold good from those to whom it is due. My friends, today, to you, it is due. Give me the first tape, please.
If she really want to play hardball, just one of the ultimate. Imagine you ask a question to the Prime Minister, how often have you been in your office on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the 5 years? Not one day. Not one day. So imagine you are Prime Minister running a country, and your weekend is from Friday to Wednesday for 5 years. So remember, not one day has she spent a day, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday in her office. She comes up to Port of Spain Wednesday night, goes in cabinet, goes in Parliament, stays in her office. She then goes inside Parliament, she spends about 10 minutes if she had to talk or vote, and then goes back south. Her weekend is from Friday night to Wednesday night. Monday to, and the thing is the records there. Now when you tell a country that you want to come for another 5 years and you want to have a 5-day weekend, they will kill us. So we have enough, you and I have enough ammo on that woman to let her know, look, you can't play hardball with us. This ain't Dukarano Prakash you're playing with.
Even the thing that we have there, that we discovered in the house.
Marijuana?
Yeah. Which we have not made in public yet.
Well, just to say, let's go back a bit for me again.
Because I mean,
it's true.
I want to get that.
Which we have not made in public yet.
Let's go back a little bit.
To let her know, look, you can't. When you tell a country that you want to come for another 5 years and you want to have a 5-day weekend, they will kill us. So we have enough, you and I have enough ammo on that woman to let her know, look, you can't play hardball with us. This ain't Dukarano Prakash you're playing with.
Even the thing that we have there, that we discovered in the house.
Marijuana?
Yeah. Which we have not made in public yet. We could go on a platform and see them and say that because I mean,
it's true.
It's a fact.
That was a discussion between Captain Griffith and me. And when I said the thing we discovered there, he said marijuana. I had to tell him, he said marijuana, and he said it is a fact. But today, the Commissioner of Police, Deputy Commissioner of Police, everybody, of course, trying to cover for Kamala and to break for her. And they don't understand that in doing so, they're doing the country an injustice. But that ain't all. Tape 2, please. By the way, before I start, that first talk was on March the 8th, eh?
Yeah.
March the 8th.
Yeah.
That is the release you gave out on this Butterboy?
Yeah, well, covering myself. I have to cover myself, man.
You are saying that what I say is not true, and no substance exists?
Yeah, what I'm telling you, I'm not denying it. If they ask for if it's true, I will say yes, but I'm not involved.
Gary, have you read that release?
No, but what it is saying is that I am involved in a cover-up job. I can't. I have to take my name.
Gary, I'll think to you again. you are saying that substance, that there was no such illegal substance?
No. Listen. Wait. Let me explain. It's what I'm saying is that I have a report that I am aware that illegal substance was found. What had to happen after that? The police are supposed to go and do an investigation to come back to us.
Your email didn't say that. Your press release didn't say that.
No, it did. Look down. It did. It says the police never got back. What the police are supposed to do is to get back to confirm that the substance that they acquired was an illegal substance. It is down there. Read it. Check it.
Let me say. So how can I be involved in a cover-up when I don't even know it was ever an illegal substance or illegal substance tested and proven to be marijuana?
But that is correct because number. But you don't know either.
We just told John me that.
No, but my point, I never saw the picture. Listen, the only thing I got is they said that they found marijuana by the Prime Minister. I didn't know how much. I thought it was cocaine, in fact. What I'm saying is that what the police are supposed to do after they acquire the evidence, they're supposed to go and test it to verify that it's not him or whatever, and come back to us.
You are saying to you ever spoken to the Prime Minister and then that thing took place?
No, I never spoke to her.
You contacted her in the morning?
No, I never spoke to her. Actually, I never spoke to the Prime Minister on this matter. I never ever spoke to her.
So how come you became aware of it then?
I think it was either you or somebody passed it on, but she never talked to me about it. And you see me as splitting, I tell she never, so help my God. I think it's you and I talk. I think you pass it on to me. And who it is, boy, somebody in the residence, I think one of the security guards bring it on to our attention. They say, sir, I hear they find marijuana the night before, I will tell you, and then I talk to you about it. The woman never talked to me. But I could tell you, though, I go back down. If the media ask me if I'm aware of it, I just waiting for the police to state that they have the report, and I will say, yes, I was aware that marijuana was found. But what I'm saying is that the police never got back to me to say that they did the test and they verified.
Okay.
Right, remember, Jack, what this has is that I involved in a massive cover-up to protect Tamlin, and that is a lie. I was not involved in that.
Okay, all right, okay.
Right, but just check it. What I read it, I said that the police need to test and get back. The onus I put it on the police now, Galkul and Richardson have to come clean, and they have to admit that they found the marijuana, and they have to admit that they tested it and verified that it's true. So what I have in the report is to say, I don't know if this is really marijuana. I was just told by people. I ain't going to call your name unless you're willing to, that the Minister of National Security, as the National Security Advisor, he spoke to me and he did tell me, and there were some security guards by the Prime Minister who did also bring it to my attention. But that is my only involvement. So I am not going to deny that I knew about it. But I can't verify that. What's supposed to happen? The police are supposed to come back and say, listen, we did the test and it was verified that it's him or it's marijuana, whatever. They never came back. So I can't say it was marijuana. You can't say it either. The police supposed to say these things, not us.
Right.
That's my point. Okay. All right? Okay. All right.
That was Sunday afternoon because of this Sunday going here, because of the release he made. The first one was March the 8th. That was Sunday. I am saying this to you because I was complaining about his release not being true, and of course, trying, again to cover for the president, for the Prime Minister. I was attacking him on that, not on cover up. Because I don't care you cover up or cover down. The fact is, the critical point is, there was marijuana found on the Prime Minister's residence under her window. The second thing is, she was not in the country, and she asked if she could come back and resign. And that's all I'm saying. Cover up. I am saying to you again, I know I have done it wrong, and I will pay for that in the fullness of time. But the fact is, I cannot continue with this, having known now that it's not the cabal, it's the Prime Minister. Listen to the third tape.
Minister.
Yeah, listen, I want to know. You see, Denise right now called me. I don't want to set you up. She asked if you ever told me. I don't know. I prefer if you say that you told me, I will want to say yes. But I don't want to say the next thing you say, no, you never talked to me. I have to be very careful. I don't want to set up anybody.
I don't mind if you say I told you. I want to make sure that, of course, you were aware at that point in time.
Of course I was aware, 100%. I remember I told you then, I'm not going to set you up. I feel back on people and lie.
Can you talk about silly season and all that thing and so on? It makes me look as if I'm lying about something.
No, and I just told you,
I want to know.
the last, I just told the insurance, this is not, do not see this in any way. I am questioning the statements by Minister Warner. Minister Warner, if it is that he got information from the police, what I am saying is that the only owner that can confirm the authenticity is not Warner, myself, or Kamala. The police had a right, and the police have a right, if they took the evidence, they should have gone back to the station, tested it, and then come back to us with a report. That was never done to me. And that's what I'm saying. So, what I do is that the police have to, and that's what I kept saying in my statement today in the papers, what I say, the police have a right to come forward. I can't come forward because suppose it's him. But just tell Denise if they need, because she did ask me. I told, because Kamala never talked to me on this or Rudy. But if you say that, because I remember you talked to me, I know you say, boy, some weed in the woman house, and a couple of soldiers said they hear so too. So I can verify that, and I'm going to deny that from you. I ain't gonna lie to you, for you. All right? I'll show you that. So if you want to tell her, I could verify it's true, that I knew about the allegation. All right? Okay.
So he's saying that I must call Dennis Wren and tell Dennis Wren to call him, and he will say he can verify what I say is true. When I call Ms. Wren, she don't know words to the effect. She don't have anything to tell Gary anymore because it's a complete waste of time. He changes his statement every 5 minutes, and she can call him. Is there any more tape there? Huh? One more. That is this one. That is this one.
Hello, Mr. Morning.
Morning. You were the commissioner release that it was just sent out?
No.
Anika now called me. So I'm going to tell you one. Anika now called and say that the commissioner now sent a release stating that they have absolutely no report or any knowledge of any marijuana by the Prime Minister's house.
All right. Okay.
So, right? But I tell you, listen, I tell you, I just want to thank God to go back and I'm not going to lie. You did tell me. But you see, I couldn't, with the media, I went on 91.9 Saturday. But you see, I can't say that. I don't know if you wanted me to say it. Once you could have wanted that you brief me, I will say yes.
All you have to do, Gary, is to talk the truth. Right?
Yeah. And two soldiers did also tell me, say, sir, I had to find some way, But that was all my involvement. You see, the reason I had to do that is because the way I wrote it, it gave people the impression that you say that I was in the room when the decision was made to cover it up.
No, I said in brackets you were not there. I contacted you. I never said so. I said you were.
Yeah. I was informed. Yeah, you said I was informed. Yeah.
I was saying you were informed. Right?
Yeah, and I agree, and I'm not backing off from that. I was informed, so I had knowledge of it.
Right. Okay.
Right, but check on it. William just sent some release, so you need to know how to operate. All right, take care.
Thank you very much. That is one part, and that was this morning. I asked myself, if a deputy commissioner of police doesn't speak the truth, who in this country will? And then he says to me, it's all about politics. What politics has to do with it? I didn't talk this for Shagor's West by-election. I didn't talk it for October by-election. I'm talking it now because there's no time for re-election. And I'm saying Mrs. Prasad Bisesa is unfit to be re-elected. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying I can't hold this back anymore because the public must know. And if the public wants to elect her, that's their business. My friends, let me tell you something. What you have heard here is the tip of the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg. I ain't started yet. And if this one thing has caused so much amount of confusion and backbiting and so on, what about when I give you the second and the third and the fourth? Because they are. And I will tell you all, and they could do me what they want because those things are already in the hands of lawyers, all of them except two. Right? But if you don't want to take your questions, let me show the exchange now of some text messages between Gary and me. Take your time. Text messages, please. No, don't go so fast now. Hold on a minute. Don't you come help me, please don't carry properly. Just reach for me, please, if you could. But take this. So
Is the yellow Gary and the blue you? Yes. I didn't expect that one. You openly accused me of breaking the law. I don't think that is the direction you wanted, even for yourself. But that is the way it looking based on how you said it. Call me, please. Jack. Gary, you and I spoke last night. This has nothing to do with Gary Gifford. You were not You were not even in Parliament. So, my friend, don't buy Kamla's fight. This is a straight case between Kamla, and regardless of the consequences, it is a fight to the finish. Finally, I have just received 2 death threats this morning, and in spite of that, I remain undaunted. When you decide to bare your chest on this one, though it may be too late. Gary says, I hold you and her as allies still. I so wanted to get us all back. Guess it is over now. But this matter I'm being accused of covering up. I never spoke to anyone on this to attempt to do that. I need to clear my name. He continues, outside of this, we have discussed several matters in confidence. I ask that you don't abuse our confidentiality. You remain a friend and ally, and I would never turn my back on you. Scroll up. Jack says, my dear captain and brother, the confidentiality that exists between us will always be respected by me, and I'm sure also by you. Kamla and me ever making back. That is no longer a possibility. The possibility ended when within 15 minutes she instructed her AG to sign the U.S. warrant without making me aware of anything. Finally, Gary, for your own good, please stay far, very, very far from those people. Gary says, morning. If you state that you informed me, I would confirm that you did, in fact, tell me. I would not lie. Going on 91.9 this week, or state that. To state that. I just was not involved in any cover-up. 2 soldiers also told me that they heard that, by the way. Jack says, okay, no problem. No, that has already been...
Because you see, I want to tell you one more time, what you have heard today and what you have seen, I want to repeat, is the tip of the iceberg. When you understand the amount of century diaries that have been changed from the diplomatic center, when you understand the guys who went in there all also day and night and why, you have to be told. You have to be told about the trips overseas, who went and when and why. But the fact is, today, let's stay focused. Let's stay focused on this today. At the end of the day, I want to say to you again that I have decided that at every community meeting of the ILP, I'll play one of those tapes. And I would play for the people to know. And tomorrow night, we are in Embarcadero, San Fernando, at 7. I'll be there with those tapes. Thursday, we are in Library. I'll be there with those tapes. And the following week, there are 3 meetings per week. I'll be there with those tapes until the country understands that the Prime Minister is a liar, Richardson is a liar, the Commissioner of Police is a liar, and therefore ask yourself, why are they lying? Why? Questions?
Despite the position being put forward about the dates, you are standing by your affidavit in terms of the 12th of April 2013.
I am. I am saying to you again, my function is not to prove that the Prime Minister was out of the country. She must prove that she was in the country.
And what about the issue of what qualifies as a certain amount of marijuana for trafficking or whatever purposes as had been described in the story?
I don't know anything about marijuana. Richardson told me that. I don't know if it's half ounce, 1 gram. He told, and I said, go to his phone. He told me, and Munilal, but of course, Munilal is the father of all lies. He told me that is 4 ounces and is the amount of marijuana that is normal for trafficking. He told me that.
In denying the claim, Minister Munilal is saying...
No, for Munilal, I have no respect whatsoever.
No,
I mean, read today's Sunshine, you'll see. Why not?
If you allow me just a question. He, or at least he's putting forward a government position that you are seeking to have yourself charged locally as a way of fighting your extradition to the U.S.
In the first case, it is so foolish, it's funny. Why should I fight U.S. extradition when I have to have my day in the local court? Which has not even started. The U.S. has not even brought a charge. As of today, there is not a single bit of evidence in this country against me. I said to them, let me see the evidence, and I will have my day in court. I don't want the Prime Minister's help to save me. I don't want no chairman of any integrity commission to hastily get a thing in the parliament to save me. I don't want that. I will have my day in court. And therefore, Munilal is speaking foolishness.
Mr. Warner, just to clarify a couple things. You're saying that the report that was made to the police station in the station diary, that was confiscated off? Is that just to make sure I got that clear?
I said that the police officer took his phone and took the picture of the diary. And that is how I was able to get it. Right. And therefore, I'm telling the Commissioner of Police, do his work, go to the station and take the diary.
And the other thing, the alleged 4 ounces you said that were found, did you say
alleged
they were
what?
found, the alleged marijuana that was found? Right. You said it was found on a windowsill. Can you say exactly where, whose room or anything?
I don't know. I don't live there. I stopped going there 2 years now. I don't even know. So I can't tell you. But the security officers said so.
The other thing, just to follow up on Jules' question about the claim that you want to get charged here to avoid any extradition, do you not fear, or that you may be, if an investigation is in fact launched into this, that you could be arrested for an alleged cover-up of concealing narcotics, whatever the charge is?
But I just told you. I'm going to say two ways. This happened on the 12th of April. I left the government on April 20th. Some 8 days later. And I did not say anything until last week, hoping and praying that there's some investigation, as Gary said, some kind of investigation to close this chapter. There has been none. And since there has been none, I say, time to expose it. But if for that I could be charged, then so be it. The price I have to pay. Counsel, how are you going? Are you going to write, Counsel? Right. Go ahead, Cameron.
It's probably just an ethical question. I guess in some of the text messages and in the phone conversations you would have heard, Mr. Griffith speaks about protecting his confidentiality and so on. And did he give permission for you
I didn't have to ask him. Okay. I tell you why, I just began by saying I apologize profusely. I said I've not done this before. But if I hadn't done this, you wouldn't be the wiser. But more importantly, the country would not have been the wiser. And you have gone away with the flawed report from Mr. Ramdas, with the flawed report from the Commissioner of Police, right? With the flawed no report from Richardson. And then Ms. Wren would have been the victim. Forget me. I could take care of myself. And it's wrong. That is wrong.
Mr. Warner, you spoke about death threats earlier. What became of the death threat you reported to DCP Mervyn Richardson in July 2013 about a particular UNC financer threatening your life?
He played the tape for me. He reported it. And he told me to be careful. He said we'll keep our eyes on the people. That was all. He knew who they are. He told me. He carried me to county police station. He listened to the telephone conversation for the $100,000. Was, of course, a minister and the chairman of a borough corporation. And he told me to be careful. And that was what I'm doing since then. I've doubled my security at tremendous cost to me, but so be it.
And where is that investigation now? Is it that Mr. Richardson is skirting the situation?
I can't say that, Mark. You have to ask him. He may say no comments, but you have to ask him.
Do you believe that Mr. Richardson is in some way trying to cover up this entire thing, that it never existed?
All I could say is that he's doing a very good job so far.
Could you just tell me about, there was a trip you made in 2010 to Panama with a now government minister. What was that trip about? It was taken on a private jet in January 2010.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I never went with any minister on any private jet anywhere. I never went with any minister on any private jet anywhere. And Mark, don't shift the focus of this interview at all, please. I never went with any minister, anywhere, anytime. I traveled from this country once as a minister to go to Jamaica, and I paid my own expenses. That's all I ever did.
Well, the person wasn't a minister at that time.
Well, that's once I went at it. Once I left this country, once.
So just to get it clear, you never went with somebody that was, there's no one minister to anywhere in Central America.
Mark, I know I talk very fast, so I talk slow this time. I never left this country with anybody who is a minister now and wasn't one then, 2010, 11, 12, 13, or 14, to go Panama or any other country in Central America.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Warner.
Okay. Yes.
Mr. Warner, I'm an Australian journalist. Could you please tell me what happened
What's your...
My name is John.
No. What's your station? What's your agency?
The Australian Financial Review.
Australia.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Could you please tell me what happened to the $500,000 that the Football Federation of Australia donated? Some people allege you took it, and what was your relationship with Frank Lowy?
Good. I said before, possibly you won't hear in the country, so I'll say again, I am not talking on any matter on football. At the appropriate time in the court, I will. But so I said before to the foreign media, and if you won't hear, I'm sorry, I am not talking about football. This press conference is called for a specific purpose, and I'm not going to fear from that. Yes, Kamal? Kamal, I could of course guess, but I don't want to say because it would be merely a guess. You have to ask her that. And she may say she never said so, but you have to ask her that.
Mr. Warner, can you respond to reports on social media that your former accountant is being investigated by a local...
Mr. You don't hear me? Let me take it slowly again. I am not answering any question on football directly or indirectly. This press conference is called for one particular purpose, and that only. Anything else?
Mr. Warner, just to clarify some of the messages that you have here.
Just what?
The messages, text messages. Re, Kamala, and me ever making back, that is no longer a possibility. Then you stated that the possibility ended within 15 minutes. Before the incident, did you have any possibilities of making back up with the Prime Minister?
No, there were moves afoot. There were several, I should say, emissaries being sent to me to ask me to try to come back home and to make up. I resisted, and I said, of course, I'll have to go back to my executive, but I never said yes, because they're making moves for me to come back home, because they felt then that without me coming back, the corridor was lost. And I was to go back there to help to win the corridor for them. And I didn't want to be used or abused anymore. Yes? There were meetings with ministers. The last one was, well, Gary had a few. The last one was about 2 weeks ago. Yes, there are. Yes, there are.
Members of the BUNC?
But I told you yes.
PP, COP officials as well?
No. Yes, no. Yes, there was one COP, but I wasn't at that meeting.
So what do you believe that's the reason why probably they wanted you to come back, because of this so-called avalanche of things that you were going to be revealing about the government?
No. They were quite clear. I was to come back to be used as a poster boy, as I was in 2010, as a poster boy for 2015. If you look at their meetings quite well, you'll see they had pains to put some African people in front, so the TV camera would take them and so on. I was supposed to play that role for them, and I'm not doing that. The party I belong to have no African, no Indian. We have people, but I was their poster boy, and then they used me to get the corridor. And I said, no way. I'll take one more question, and then Mr. Ramdas has the right to ask a question.
When Mr. Richardson came to the Parliament in 2013 April to show you the pictures of the marijuana and whatnot, and you saw that photo on his phone, was it marijuana in its raw form? Was it in a packet? And you were national security at that time, so did you follow up on what happened to it?
I'm not a police officer. It was marijuana in its raw form. And I left the government 7 days after. I'm saying again, I happen to follow up on this is a police function, it's not mine.
But when Mr. Richardson left that meeting with you, what was the last thing he said?
He said he'd speak to head of special branch, Gary Gould, and he'll come back on the matter.
So when the Prime Minister returned to the country, did you raise this matter with her?
When she came back, she fired me. Last question, Joel. Sorry, brother.
I'm just wondering, anyone who is seeking to dismiss the substance of your affidavit based on any issue concerning the date, what would you say to that?
I said, all I say is, if I say it's the 12th, let Mrs. Prasad Bissessa prove why it can't be the 12th. Let her prove it. I say again to you, Joel, it's not my function. I've done all I could do. The books at the airport launch have been removed. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs won't tell me anything. The New York consulate have been told not to speak to me. The Hansard has nothing. I have done what I could do. And therefore, it's optimist, perhaps as I say now, I was here because on the 12th, I opened a box drain in Philly City. Tell us that. Tell us that. And I am not won't stop anybody, but I'll take one more if you have it, because I think this is the end for me. Any other question? Okay, let me say thanks to you all for